Could this possibly be a sign that Hamilton's Ferrari chapter is finally starting to feel real? Because online, a lot of people are saying that Ferrari threw away the win by letting Hamilton and Leclerc fight. After the race, Hamilton said he feels like he's finally back physically and mentally. But I think people are making a huge leap from Ferrari lost time to Ferrari lost the win. Those are not the same thing. Lewis Hamilton should absolutely be buzzing after China. Because yes, it was only P3, but it was also his first Ferrari Grand Prix podium. And I would definitely say his best full weekend with the team in a long time. Maybe since the last sprint race in China in 2025. Could this possibly be a sign that Hamilton's Ferrari chapter is finally starting to feel real? Listen, the reaction to this race has gotten a little bit messy. Because online, a lot of people are saying that Ferrari threw away the win by letting Hamilton and Leclerc fight. Now, to be fair, Ferrari absolutely did lose time. Even Fred Vasseur admitted that their pace dropped while the two drivers were attacking and defending. But he also said he didn't want to freeze positions because that would be unfair. So that part is true, but I think people are making a huge leap from Ferrari lost time to Ferrari lost the win. Those are not the same thing. Because when you actually look at the race, Antonelli still won by 5.5 seconds over Russell. Meanwhile, Hamilton and Leclerc finished almost 25 seconds back. So if we're being honest, this wasn't some slam dunk Ferrari win that got thrown in the trash. This was more like Ferrari had a shot at making Mercedes uncomfortable. But still, not much evidence that they're faster over the race distance. From laps 14 to 29, Ferrari wasn't that far off. During that stretch, the Ferrari average was about 137.2, while Antonelli at the front averaged about a 136.9. So yes, Ferrari was fighting. Yes, they were losing some time, but the real pace gap was only around 0.3 a lap. But then you look at laps 30 to 56. Once the heavier battling mostly died down, Mercedes averaged a 135.8 and Ferrari averaged a 136.5. That's about a 0.7 per lap gap. So if anything, the scary part for Ferrari is that once the race settled down, they didn't suddenly reveal a winning pace. Oddly enough, they actually looked worse. In the second half of the race, Ferrari's tire degradation seemed to be the bigger issue. Mercedes lost an average of 0.02 seconds per lap from tire drop-off, and Ferrari lost about 0.03 of a second. And that doesn't sound massive, but over a full race, it does add up. And honestly, I think this matches what we saw visually. Ferrari comes live early in the stint, but Mercedes can hold that for longer. So if Ferrari decided to freeze positions for Leclerc and Hamilton, what would have changed? Probably a few things. Maybe Antonelli gets pushed a little harder for a little bit longer. Maybe Ferrari trims the final gap by a handful of seconds. And perhaps it would have made Russell's recovery a little bit harder. But does it suddenly turn into a Ferrari win? Listen, based on the numbers, I don't think there's really strong evidence for that. That feels more like frustration talking than true analysis. And honestly, I think this is where Lewis's own takeaway gets really interesting, because from his point of view, China should still feel huge. He outqualified Leclerc in both sessions, got the jump at the start, and won the intra-team fight. And more importantly than anything, he finally stood on the podium as a Ferrari driver. After the race, Hamilton said he feels like he's finally back physically and mentally. And after watching Lewis Hamilton in press conferences in the 2025 season, I'm so glad to hear that. Sad Lewis is not a fun Lewis. After how rough 2025 was, Lewis didn't just need points. He needed a weekend that felt like proof that he can deliver, race wheel to wheel at the front, and proof that Ferrari might still become something big. But if you think about it, that podium also had to feel a little bit weird to Hamilton. I mean, look who was standing ahead of him: George Russell, Kimi Antonelli, and Mercedes. The team he left in 2024 is leading both championships right now. So yes, Lewis finally got his first Ferrari podium, but China was also a reminder that the benchmark still lives in Brackley, not Maranello. Do you think there's a part of him, even just a little bit, that wishes he would have stayed at Mercedes? I'm not sure I would go that far, at least publicly anyway. Lewis did already say at the end of last year that he has no regrets about going to Ferrari. I guess the remaining question is, do you believe him or not? I personally think it's something more complicated than regret. China may have been the first weekend where Lewis could feel two things at once: genuine belief in Ferrari and a clear awareness of what he walked away from. And on top of all of that, there's the FIA side of things. Because if you're Lewis Hamilton, you're probably not thrilled by the fact that the FIA is waiting until June 1st to tighten the regulations on compression ratios. I want to say Hamilton already aired his complaints about this in Australia, but I want to be clear, that doesn't mean Mercedes is only fast due to compression ratios. But if Ferrari feels like it's already losing time on the straights over long stints, then every race before June probably feels expensive. So my overall read on Lewis after China is this: he should be stoked. He got the podium, he looked sharper, he beat his teammate on Sunday, and for the first time in a while, the Ferrari project gave him something to hold on to. But China also showed that Ferrari still isn't in control of races on pure pace. Mercedes still has the stronger package, Ferrari still falls way too much across the stint, and Lewis's first Ferrari podium, as important as it is, may have also been a reminder that the hardest part is still ahead. So yes, Lewis Hamilton should feel China leaving better than he has in a long time. If you're Ferrari, the headline isn't that Lewis finally made it to the podium. It's that even on one of Ferrari's best weekends in a long time, they still don't look like a team that should have won.